Extraordinary teams are comprised of competitors. Extraordinary teams are comprised. Let me quick pause. I'm assuming you want to be extraordinary. It's an assumption, but I'm giving you the stuff that separates the extraordinary teams from everyone else. Okay? I respect your right to be mediocre, but I'm assuming that you want to be extraordinary. Okay, cool. So the first component is extraordinary teams are comprised of competitors. In fact, repeat that for me. Extraordinary teams are comprised of competitors. My grandmother told me something once before she passed away. She said, baby, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the... Your grandmother told you the same thing? There's some pretty tough grandmothers, I guess, right? It's not always just the measurables, the tangibles, right? The academic background or the years of experience. Those things are important because we need to be competent, of course. But on extraordinary teams, we've got some folks who have some fight in the dog. Individuals who actually care. Individuals who actually, the success of the team actually matters to them, right? They've got some fight in the dog. Now, I'm a big definition guy, love definitions. I think it helps understand some of these ideas. So I looked up what it means to be a competitor. Here's how the dictionary defines a competitor. The dictionary says, Webster says a competitor is an individual who strives with another individual or group, and they're striving for the same goal. Does that make sense? Individual striving with another individual or another group, and they're competing. They both want the same thing. They both want to be national champs. They both want to be number one in their market. They're competing. I get that. But I'm a former athlete, and that definition doesn't capture for me what it means to be a competitor. Let me share my definition of a competitor. A competitor is an individual who loves to win and hates to lose. I see some heads nodding. Doesn't that feel better than Webster's wimpy definition? Yeah, a competitor is an individual who loves to win, hates to lose. In fact, could you guys repeat that definition for me? A competitor is an individual who what? No, that's not the way I said it. Let's try this again, and I did it twice to make sure we were clear. A competitor is an individual who what? Yes, and? I love getting adults to do that, Eric. Silly, but silly on purpose. Here's the point. It's about passion. It's about passion. The most successful individuals, the most successful teams, the most successful organizations in the world are passionate about what they do. They're not just skilled. They're not just qualified. They're not just competent. They're passionate about what they do. It's the kind of passion we just saw and heard on the stage just a few minutes ago. They're passionate about what they do. Why? Because it is passion that drives us to action. It is passion, not just being responsible, not just doing the right thing, but it is passion that drives us to action. Absent passion, we quit when things get tough. Absent passion, we look for shortcuts and detours when things become difficult or monotonous or even boring. Passion is what drives us to being our absolute best. Now, let me be clear about something. I was being silly, talked about winning and losing. Let me clarify what I mean. When I say winning and losing, let me clarify that. See, winning for me, playing football was different than the way I look at it now. Back then, playing ball, winning meant we beat you. We're better than you. We're dominant. We're superior even. I don't see it the same way now. Let me tell you how I see winning and losing now. Winning for me now means that as a team, we have met or exceeded what we're capable of. Winning is not this relative or comparative idea where I compare myself to you or other organizations. No, winning for me now means we have met or exceeded what we're capable of as a team. Guess what losing is? Anything short of that. Anything short of what we should be and could be doing, for me, is losing. Even if what we're doing is better than what everyone else is doing. I could care less about what they're doing. It's irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter. I don't compare my success with them because, quite frankly, they may suck. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is a gap. This is the gap that drives competitors. The gap between where they currently are and where they could be. The gap between what they're currently doing and what they're capable of doing. And we are driven, perpetually driven, to close this gap between what we could be doing, where we are currently, and what we could be doing. Does that make sense? Competitors are driven to close this gap. Let me say it this way and then I'll move on. I'm not really concerned about you being the best. No, I'm concerned about you being your best and closing this gap every single day to maximize what we're capable of. Make sense?